Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be implementing another amazing project called Automatic Blog Writer. So the system we're going to create, this system will automatically write the blog for you. Only you just need to give the topic name. And for this, we'll be using various services like we'll be using LangChain, we'll be using LLMs, okay? And we'll be also using some, let's say, front-end framework like Flask and Streamlit, so that we can create a user interface. User can launch the app and they can give the topic name and they can easily generate the blog. So first of all, I will give you the project idea, how we are going to develop this project and how it is going to work. Then after that, we'll try to set up the GitHub repositories, because here we'll be doing the code management. That means we'll be creating the entire end-to-end actually system. So everything I'll try to show you. So let's open up my Blackboard and let me show you the project architecture. So guys, here we'll be creating actually two file. Okay. I mean, I will be creating some more file, but the main file I'm going to create, actually one is like endpoint. Okay, endpoint, and another one is app.py. Now you can ask me, what is this endpoint and app.py? See, this endpoint would be my um, application serving, let's say, file. So this will serve my application, serve my model. Okay, model. And this app.py will take the input from the user. So that means it will be having the user interface, UI. Okay. And from the UI, user will send the topic name. Let's say I want to write a blog regarding Python. So user will send the topic name, okay, from the app.py. That means what will happen in the endpoint, okay, what we'll do, let's say this is my endpoint. This is my endpoint. Okay. So inside endpoint, we'll be using large language model. And we'll be definitely using some like generative AI framework like LangChain. Okay, so I'm giving you the high level architecture, how things will work. Let's say this is my LLM. First of all, we'll be creating a prompt template here. Okay, prompt template PT. Then this prompt template will pass to the LLM, large language model. Okay, this is the idea. And now what will happen? We'll be creating another file called app.py. App. So in the app, we'll be using Streamlit. Okay, and this Streamlit, what it will take, it will take the input from the user. Okay, let's say topic name should be the input, topic name, and this topic name would be passed to the endpoint. That means see, endpoint and app.py would be uh, connected with each other. That means it will communicate with each other. Okay, so the endpoint will be getting, let's say, here we'll be using Flask to create this particular endpoint, or API will be using Flask. Okay, and I think you know that Flask runs on localhost, any port number, let's say 5000 in this case. So what we'll do, we'll try to connect with the 5000 port number, okay, localhost, and we'll try to make the connection between this endpoint and app.py. And whatever topic user will pass, this Streamlit app.py will send that particular topic to the endpoint. Okay, that means this prompt template, okay, I think you know the prompt template. Okay, in the prompt template we can give any kinds of input. So here the prompt template I'm going to create, there our input should be topic name. So this topic name would be passed to the prompt template, and prompt template will prepare the entire prompt. And in the prompt we'll be writing, let's say I want to generate a blog for this particular topic, and this one will try to pass to the large language model, okay, LLM, and LLM will try to generate a blog, okay, complete blog for me. And this particular blog, what we'll do, we'll try to again send to the Streamlit app. Okay, and Streamlit app will try to show in the console. Okay, Streamlit console. Okay, and here also I want to do one thing. I want to save this particular block file in a MD file. Save in MD file, markdown file. Okay, so this is the complete high level system, guys, will be developing. Okay, so for this, first of all, let's try to create a GitHub repository. Then we'll try to do the project setup. We'll also create the environment. Okay, we'll do the requirement installation. Then I'll show you the step-by-step implementation. Even after that, I will also show you how we can deploy this kinds of project over the cloud platform. Okay, Fine. So to create the GitHub repo, guys, make sure you have the GitHub account. If you don't have, please try to create one account. Then here you can click on the new. Then after that, you can give the project name. So in this case, our project name would be Automatic Blog Writer. Okay. And I can keep this as a public because I want to share this project with anyone. If you want to keep it as private, you can also do it. Okay, private means, let's say you don't want to share this project with anyone, you can only see the project. But if you are adding any other person here, okay, they can see your application. Then I'm going to add the readme file. Git ignore wise, I'll be taking the Python because programming language I'm using Python. And license, you can take anything. Let's say I'll take the MIT license as of now. Then after that, let's create the repository here. The repository is created. Now we have to clone the repository in our local directory. So let's click on the code, copy the link address, and here what I can do, I can open up my terminal. So this is my terminal. So here just try to write git clone, okay, and paste the link. So it will clone the repo here. Then after that, I want to go inside the folder. For this, I'm going to use this command called cd, and here I will pass the folder name. So it's automatic blog writer. Now I'm inside this particular folder. Now here I'm going to open up my Visual Code Studio. So here is my Visual Code Studio. Just a minute. So let me zoom. Okay. So the first thing, guys, we have to create the environment. Okay. We have to create the environment. So to create the environment, I already prepared some commands actually you have to execute. So I'll add in the readme file. So here is the step-by-step guide. Okay, so first of all, you have to create you have to clone the repository. Okay, then you have to create the environment with help of Python 3.12. So in this case, I have created agent app. You can give any name, it's up to you. Then after that, you have to activate the environment. Then you have to install the requirement. As of now, I haven't created the requirement file. I'll try to create it. Okay, then I will be executing our endpoint. Okay, then once my endpoint is running, then we'll try to launch the app. Okay, now these are the files are missing. Now how we can create these are the file, because here I'm going to follow the modular coding structure. So for this, we'll be creating a folder structure, and to create the folder structure, guys, I think you know that I usually write a template file. Okay, so let's create a template file here. So template.py. Okay, so here I'm going to write a Python script, and this script will automatically create my project folder structure. And this script, I think I already shared previously. Okay, so there is an error. Okay, so in the else condition, I have to write this one. Okay, so this script, I think I already shared previously. We already implemented some projects. So you can follow the same script, only you can do some modification, like what are the files you need, what are the files you don't need. Okay, you can do some modification here. So in case actually this project, I'm going to delete some of the file. Let's say yeah, I'm going to create a backend folder, but inside backend I only want to keep one file called generate blog. Okay, generate blog.py, and rest of the files I can remove, it's not required. Static I don't need, because here I'm not going to create the user interface with the Flask, so that's why I don't need it. app.py I need. Then I need env file, Dockerfile, requirements, templates I don't need, I can remove. Test.py also I can remove. Okay, so yes, as of now these are the folders and file I need. Okay, okay, sorry, just a minute. Again, it depends upon your project requirement. So this is a like a blog post generator project, so this is not a RAG application, that's why I'm not using any vector database and all. Okay, fine. Then this is the logic. So here first of all, it will look through this list, and it will uh, uh, take the files and folder name. Okay, one by one. Then I'm creating the path. I'm detecting the path, whether it's a Windows path, whether it's a Linux path. Then after that, I'm separating out the file directory and the files name. Then after that, first of all, I'm creating the file directories, then I'm creating the files. Okay, and if anything is exist, I'm telling this file is already exist. Okay, and on the log, actually I'm printing in the console. So this is the idea. Now let's execute this file, and let's try to see whether it is able to create or not. And this .github you need for the deployment. Whenever you will be doing the CI/CD deployment, that time you need it. Okay, and the Docker file as well. So let's execute. So Python template. And again, guys, I'm not going to explain the deployment part. I will add my previous recording here, because I already showed you the step-by-step deployment. Okay, how it can be done. So maybe you can refer that video and you can do the deployment. So now let's execute the template.py. Now see, our files and folder has been created. Okay, now in the env file I will set my OpenAI API key. ChromaDB I don't need because here I'm not using any vector database. So this is my OpenAI API key. So please try to add your OpenAI API key. In case you can also use your Grok API key. Okay, it's free. So here we are done with the template and this env file. And if you see this env file, it's not actually showing here because by default env file would be, let's say, it would be ignored by the .git ignored. Okay, that's why .git keep. So now what you can do, guys, you can follow that approach. You can upload this env file in the Google Drive and you can download. Okay, I think in your previous project, let me show you my previous project I implemented. So here is the code, guys, you can see. So here I written this particular script. So this script will download the env file from where? From the Google Drive. Okay, so I want you to add this particular line in your code. Okay, because see, if I'm showing you everything, then what is the use of learning, right? So please try to export something from your end. See, the project I'm going to implement, I'm going to ignore this part. That means the env file part you can add. So if you want to deploy this project, so definitely you have to get the env file from the Google Drive. And I already showed you in the previous implementation. I think the project name was Personal Productivity Assistant. It is available, okay, in the playlist. You can check it out. So there I showed you how we can add this code and how we can download the env file from the Google Drive itself. Okay, so you have to add this particular line here. Okay, you have to add this particular line where in the backend generate block. In this particular file you have to add, okay, at the very first time. So whenever you will execute the app, so this will first of all download the env file and rest of the code will execute that time. Okay, so this thing you can add, guys. I'm leaving to you. Now what I will do, I think we are done with the we are done with the, actually, let's say, template creation. And I think I already showed you how we can create the environment. So for me, I already have the environment. Let me activate the environment here. So yeah, this is my environment. Now let's try to commit the code. So I'll just write clear. So git add space dot, then git commit -m. So here you can give the commit message, let's say folder structure. Structure added. Then I can give the push command. So git push origin main. It's a main branch. Okay, so that's why we're writing origin main. Now it's done. Now if I go to my GitHub, now if I refresh, so you can see the folder structure has been added. Okay, and all the commands also it is visible in the readme file. Now the next thing, guys, what we'll do, we'll try to start the implementation. So first of all, let me write this particular file. So in the backend you have one file called generate block.py. Okay, so this one first of all we'll try to write. So here what we'll do, guys, we'll try to first of all import some library, because here you saw that in the architecture I showed you. So first of all, now we have to create the endpoint. Okay, and endpoint will try to create the prompt template and it will pass that particular prompt to the LLM. And for this, we'll be writing a separate function. And this is the modular coding. That's why I'm creating a separate file for that. So let me import. Okay, so one thing I missed out. I didn't install the requirements. Okay, so these are the requirements you need, guys, for this project. So you need OpenAI plus LangChain. Okay, ChromaDB files you can ignore because I'm not using that. Transformer also I'm not using that. Yeah, so these are the so these are the actually requirements you need. And how to install the requirements, here is the command. So let's copy and open up the terminal and let's try to execute. So for me it is already satisfied, but for you it will take some time. And done. Okay, so once it is done, now let me import the library here. So first of all, I'm going to import LLMchain from LangChain. So from LangChain, so let me select my environment. So here agent app, I think this one. Yeah, from LangChain.chains, I'm going to import LLMchain, LLM, LLMchain. Then I need prompt template. So from LangChain dot prompts import prompt template. Then I need OpenAI. I'm going to use OpenAI model, so that's why I need to import this function chat OpenAI. So from LangChain dot chat model import chat OpenAI. OpenAI. Then I need operating systems import OS, and I need also .env. So from .env import load env. Okay. Then after that we'll try to load the mm, credentials. So here let me just comment load API load.env. Then this is my OpenAI API. It's OpenAI underscore API underscore key. So here I'm going to write os.getEnv get env. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to open launch load my OpenAI API key. This one. Then after that, I'm going to write a function here. So def, I'm going to name it as generate block. This will take the topic name. Okay. So here, what I can do, I can just write a template first of all. So I already prepared a template, guys. Let me show you the template. So this is the template, guys, I prepared. You can check. So this is the doc string I have added. So generate a full blog post based on the given topic using GPT-4. I'm going to use GPT-4 here. And this is my template. So write a detailed blog post on the topic. The topic user will pass. Okay. Include an engaging introduction. Provide 3 key points with explanation. Use SEO friendly keywords and end with a conclusion and call to actions. Return the blog in a structured markdown format. Now this particular template you can change, okay, as it is as per your requirement. Let's say you are looking for any other kinds of, let's say, information, maybe you can add in the template. I think you know that what is prompt exactly, what is prompt template exactly, and how it works in the LLM. Okay, fine. Then once my prompt is ready, now we'll be creating the prompt template because I can't directly pass the prompt. So for this we'll be creating the prompt template. So let's create the prompt template here. So prompt is equal to prompt template. Okay, inside that you have to pass the input variable first of all. Sorry, in variables, I think it should be variables. So here input variables would be my input topic name. Okay, topic name should be the input variable user will pass. And the second parameter you have to give the template. So template is equal to my template, the template I have prepared, this particular template. Okay, done. Now here I'm going to initialize my LLM. So LLM is equal to chat OpenAI. So here first of all you have to give the model name, model underscore name is equal to, I'm going to use GPT-4. GPT-4. Okay, this model. Then the second parameter I have to give the OpenAI API key. So OpenAI API underscore key is equal to my OpenAI API key. The OpenAI API key, I think. So I think it's fine. Okay. Now the second thing, third thing, I have to create the chain, because I think you know that if you are using LangChain, we have to create the chains. Okay, with the help of LLM and prompt template. So LLM chain, inside that I'm going to pass my LLM. LLM is equal to my LLM, and the prompt is equal to my prompt I have prepared. It's done. Then whatever, let's say, response I will get, I will just try to return it. So return is equal to return chain dot one. Okay, chain dot one, and here I'm going to pass my topic. Okay, topic is equal to the topic user will pass. Okay, this one. Yeah, so I think we are done with this particular function. Now let's create the endpoint. Okay, so here what I will do, first of all, let me commit the changes. So it's a good practice whenever you are implementing something, always try to push your code to the GitHub. Otherwise, let's say you are working in a team and you want to share your implementation, definitely have to commit the code. And another thing is like, let's say your system may crash anytime. So if you don't want to lose your code, definitely you have to push your code to the GitHub platform. Okay, it's a good practice. So again, I can write the same command. So git add space dot, so git commit hyphen m. uh, Here I can write, let's say generate blog function added, then git push origin main. Okay, it has been pushed. Now let's write our endpoint. But here I didn't created the endpoint file. So here what I can do, point template.py. So endpoint is created. Okay. Now let me open up the endpoints. Okay. So inside endpoint, first of all, we'll be importing some necessary libraries. So I'll import operating system. Then I'm going to import the Flask here, because with the Flask we'll be creating the API. So from Flask, import. I need Flask. Then I need request. Sorry, request. Then I need JSONify. JSONify. Okay, this one. Then from backend, dot generate block. That means in this particular file, I have one function called generate block. That means this one. So this particular function I'm importing here. Okay. So once it is done, I will be initializing the app. That means Flask app. Then we'll be writing creating a route. Okay. So this is the route. Let's say here I can create this particular route. So generate block. Okay. Otherwise, I can only give the generate here. So whenever user is hitting slash generate and post is equal to, sorry, method is equal to post, that time this particular function would be executed. Okay. And inside that, I can write some logic. First of all, it will take the input from the user. It will take the input from the user. So you can see request.json. So whatever input user will pass topic name, it will save inside. It will get the data. Then from the data itself, it will extract the topic only, and it will save inside the topic name. Then here I'll do one check whether user has passed the topic name or not. If topic not topic, so that time I will raise a exception. Okay, topic is required. Then if they have given the topic, I will call the function. Okay, I'll call the function generate block, this particular function. Inside that, I'm going to pass the topic name, and this will take the topic name, it will generate the block, and it will try to return. Okay, then once I got the topic, so that means the block, first of all I will save inside a file. Okay, I'm going to save inside a file. So you can see I'm creating a directory called blogs, and inside that you can see I'm creating a file, md file, and I'm opening the file and I'm writing the blog. And here, once it is done, I'm going to return a message. So blog generated successfully, and this is the blog. And to execute the app, so here is the um, code. So first of all, I'm creating a directory. If it is exist, I don't need to create, and have.run debug is equal to true. So here you can specify the host name. Host is equal to, let's say, localhost. So to give the localhost, you can give like that. So 0.0.0.0, and you can also specify the port number. So port is equal to I can give, let's say, 5000 port. Okay, by default I think Flask runs in 5000 port, but you can also specify. Okay, you can also give 8080. It's up to you. So yeah, my endpoint is also ready. Now we have to communicate. That means we have to write this particular code. That means I'll be writing the app.py, and we'll be using Streamlit for that, and this will do the communication with each other. That means we'll be hitting this particular API, localhost port number 5000. So for this, let's write the code. So here I'm going to open up the app.py. So in the app.py, first of all, let me import some necessary library. So I'm going to import Streamlit. Streamlit as st. Then I'm going to also import request. So in the top request package will be hitting the API. So first of all, let me give a name, title. So st.title. So let's say here I'm going to give the title name AI powered blog writer. Then I will give the input. That means user will pass the topic, and this one I will be taking as a text input. So st.text input. Here I will just write enter the blog topic. Then if st.button, so if user is clicking on the button, okay, button, I'll give the button name as generate blog. So if this button is executed, then we'll just show a snipping st dot spinner. Okay, spinner will try to use. Spinner means it will show you one like loading. Okay, loading. Let's say animation there. So and during loading, it will give a message called generating block. Can give this 3 dot. Maybe. Then once it is done, inside that I will hit the request. So request dot post. So it should be a post request because here you have mentioned it's a post request. Method should be post request. Okay, in the generate route and where localhost port number 5000. Okay, so post. So here you can specify like that. So you can see this is the localhost 127.0.1 5000. If you're using Windows, you can give like that. And if you're using Linux, at that time you can also give like that 0.0.0. Okay, it will work. Then here I will pass the topic name. So JSON topic is equal to topic. Okay, the topic actually I'm getting from the user. Then once it is done, I'm going to check a status here. The if response. So I'm going to store this response inside a response variable. Yeah, so if response status is equal to 200, okay, if it is 200, that means I got the result. So I'll extract the results, okay, and I'll give a subheader, generate block, and I'll give a markdown, okay, a result dot block. Then else error, okay, if something is going wrong in the route, I'll generate a raise exception like error generating the block. Okay, that time user will take care of that. Okay, fine. So this is the app we have created. Now let me test, okay, whether it's working or not. So I'll open up my terminal. So first of all, you have to launch the endpoint. So Python endpoint, because it's a Flask file, will be running like that, Python endpoints. Okay, see it's running. It's running. Then again, I will take another terminal. Let's have take my Anaconda prompt. And here, first of all, I will activate the environment. So this is the command agent app. See, my app is running. Endpoint is running. Now I'll run my app.py. So Streamlit run app.py. Okay, why it's not? Okay, Streamlit spelling is not correct. Streamlit run. Uh, okay, so the mistake is I need to go inside the folder first of all, automatic blog writer. Now it will work. So Streamlit run app.py. Now this is my app. Now here you can give any kinds of blog. Okay, blog topic. Let's say I want to give the blog related Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin I want to generate. Now here I can generate the blog. Now see your application is running. Okay, so there is a error I got. So error I'm getting, connection abroad, connection request and existing what for the remote. Okay guys, now it is working. So the issue was, see here you have to remove that line, the host number and the port number. Okay, otherwise it is giving you the issue because we are using the Windows machine. Now see, I've given the Bitcoin and click on generate block. Now see, it is generating the block. And see guys, this is the complete block I got. Okay, see, this is amazing. Now one thing I want to show you. See, it has created a folder for block. Inside that, the MD file is also saved. Now you can take the file and you can upload any in any website. Okay. So yes, guys, this is the application we have created, and it's running fine. You can give any other topic name. Let's say I want to give Python. Generate the block. So see guys, for Python also, I got that entire block. Okay, great. So again, if I go inside, see in the block, see for Python also it has created another block. Okay, for every file it will create different let's say MD file. So now guys, our application is ready. Now we are going to deploy the application. See, for Flask app, I think I already showed you how we can deploy any Flask app. Okay, I think I showed you the CI/CD approach. So you can follow the same technique. And for Streamlit, okay, because you can deploy this project in a various way. So I'm going to show you one easiest way. You can take two EC2 instance, okay, and in one EC2 instance you have to run the endpoints, okay, and another EC2 instance you have to run the your app.py. So then you will make the communication with each other, and make sure whenever you are running it, so here you are giving the this particular URL, your EC2 instance URL. I think you will get the public IP address. This public IP address you have to replace here, okay, because currently we are running in the local host. That's why we are giving 127.0.0.1 5000/generate, okay. But whenever you are deploying in the EC2, make sure you are giving the public IP address, okay. So first of all, try to deploy over the EC2 instance with the Flask technique. I already showed you how to do it. Then I'm going to add another video for the Streamlit deployment. You can follow the same technique to deploy your app.py. That means one project you have to deploy in a two machine. One is in the EC2 one, another is the EC2 2. Then you have to do the communication with each other, okay. So this deployment part I will add. Just try to follow the deployment and try to do the deployment of this particular project. So now let me show you guys how we can deploy this project. But before that, let me commit the changes so we can commit from here also. So here I can write updated, commit, and let's sync the changes. Okay, commit is done. Now if I go to my GitHub, this is my GitHub. If I refresh, so you can see all the files and folders are present here. Okay, so guys, now let me show you how we can deploy this project over the cloud platform. Now we'll try to see the deployment part, like how we can deploy these kinds of projects on the cloud platform. If you want to learn any other cloud deployment, it is also fine. See, the process will remain same, only the cloud functionality would be different. So I'll try to create some more video on the deployment. Like I'll also show you how we can deploy these kinds of project on the GCP cloud, on the, let's say, the Azure cloud. But first of all, let's try to see how we can deploy this project on the AWS cloud. And see, this is not going to be a simple deployment. So here we'll be doing continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. That means CI/CD. So I think you have heard of this particular term called CI/CD, right? So we'll be learning how we can deploy this project as a CI/CD. I think you already know how to deploy any machine learning project, deep learning project as CI/CD, but we haven't seen how we can deploy any kinds of generative AI based project as a CI/CD, right? So that's why make sure you are watching this video till the end. So here I'm going to show you each and every step you have to follow. And trust me, if you follow this step, guys, you can use this step to deploy any kinds of, let's say, generative AI based project, okay. And this is going to be production grade deployment, okay. So here I'm going to use different kinds of service from the AWS. Even I'll be also using Docker. That means first of all we'll be dockerizing the entire source code, then we'll be deploying this application on the cloud platform, okay. So make sure you are watching this video till the end. So before starting the deployment, guys, first of all, let me show you what exactly we're gonna perform here. What is CI/CD exactly? Then I will also discuss, let's say, what are the tools and technology we'll be using here, what are the services we'll be using here. Then I will start with the deployment, and make sure you have the AWS account. If you don't have the AWS account, guys, so you won't be able to deploy this project. So first of all, try to create one account. If you're creating for the first time, you will get $300 free credit. Okay, and this is enough for you. So try to create an account, guys. Then you can start with the deployment with me. So let's open up our Blackboard and try to see the architecture overview. So guys, as I already told you, here we'll be doing something called CI/CD deployment, right? And I already told you what is CI/CD full form. It's continuous integration, continuous delivery, or deployment, right? So inside continuous integration, continuous delivery, what happens? Let's say you are the developer. Okay, let's say you are the developer. So what is your task? Your task is to develop a project in the development, let's say, environment. So development environment means like your local system. Let's say you are using your laptop or computer. Let's say local computer. Okay, local computer. Fine. Then what we are doing, I think you remember, we are committing this code to the GitHub, right? We are doing the code management. I think you remember. That means whenever I was adding some new feature, I was pushing this code to the GitHub. Yes or no? Okay, with the help of Git client, we are pushing the code in the GitHub server. Now what happens actually, let's say after deployment. So this is called actually development server, or I can write this is actually development environment. Okay, development environment. So after implementing this project, what we have to do, we have to deploy this project, yes or no? Let's say somehow you have deployed this project on the AWS cloud. Let's say this is your AWS cloud. Fine. So let's say you have deployed this project to the AWS cloud. Manually you just created a, let's say, instance there. You just took a machine there, a EC2 machine, and you manually deployed this project. Now it will give you some endpoint. Okay, endpoint. So with the help of this endpoint, any of the user can access your application. Now let's say after 4 months or let's say 6 months, you want to add some more features in this, let's say, application. Let's say you are deploying medical chatbot. The medical chatbot we implemented, I think you remember, right? Let's say you want to add some more data, you want to add some more knowledge base, and you want to add some more features in this application. Then what you have to do, you have to again develop this, let's say, features in your code. Then what you will be doing, again you will be deploying this application to the AWS cloud. Now just try to see, whenever you are deploying the project for the second time, let's say this is the first time you have deployed, then you are trying to deploy for the second time. Then what you have to do, first of all, you have to stop this application in the AWS. Okay, stop this application. Then you will be uploading your updated code. Then this code will reflect to the endpoint. Then user will be able to access that. Now let's say in between, whenever you stop this AWS server, let's say your application, let's say it took 3 hours. It took 3 hours to change the entire source code. That means change the entire features, okay, of your application. So what will happen? 3 hours user won't be able to access your application. So they will come your website and they will see server error. Okay, server error actually they will get. So if user is getting this kinds of experience, so definitely it would be a negative, let's say, effect, okay, on your application. So next time actually they are not going to use your application, yes or no? Let's say if ChatGPT is down for the let's say 3 hours, definitely people will move to the Google Bard or any other, let's say, software, whatever actually we are having. Okay, so now see, ChatGPT is also updating their, let's say, application day by day. But did you ever observe this server is down? No, you are not seeing this server is down, but still they're able to make the changes in their application. How? Because they are following something called CI/CD approach, continuous integration, continuous delivery. That means this application is keep on running, but in the backend they're pushing their source code, they're pushing their, let's say, new features, and this feature is automatically getting updated. Okay, so this is called actually CI/CD. That means you are not going to deploy this application manually. Instead of that, what you have to do, you have to follow the CI/CD. That means what will happen? Let's say you have changed something in your code, you will push the code to the GitHub. Okay, GitHub will automatically let's say deploy your code to the AWS cloud. It will automatically push your code to the AWS cloud, and your endpoint would be automatically updated. Okay, automatically updated, so that if user is using your application, okay, they won't be feeling any kinds of, let's say, server down issue. Okay, server down issue actually they won't be feeling. Got it? So this is what actually we have to do. That means we'll be creating the entire pipeline, entire, let's say, CI/CD pipeline. So we will be just pushing the code in our GitHub, and GitHub will automatically trigger this action, and my code will update it to the AWS cloud, and AWS will update the endpoint. Okay, now see, the automated process we'll be doing now. Whenever we'll let's say push our code to the GitHub,
GitHub will automatically trigger. How it will trigger? For this, you have to use some CI/CD tool. Okay, CI/CD tool, CI/CD automation tool. So here there are different kinds of CI/CD tool. So the first tool you can use something called GitHub Action. Okay, GitHub Action you can use. Then you can use something called Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins. Then you can use something called Circle CI. Circle CI. So these actually three famous tool actually we are having in the market right now. So people are using more this GitHub Action because GitHub Action you don't need to set up anything. It is already set up everything in the GitHub. But if you're using Jenkins and Circle CI, you have to set up this server manually. Okay. So here we'll be using GitHub Action because it is already inbuilt with the GitHub. We don't need to set up anything. Going forward, I will also show you how we can, let's say, use Jenkins, Circle CI. These are the services as well. Fine. So yes, guys, this is the complete high-level architecture of our deployment. Now let's discuss what are the services actually we'll be using for the deployment. See, here the first services actually I'm going to use called Docker. So I think you already know Docker. So Docker is a containerization service. So with the help of that, you can containerize your code. That means, let's say you are having a source code, you can perform the containerization. That means it will create a Docker image for you. Okay. So this image you can, let's say, keep anywhere. Let's say you can keep in the Docker Hub. You can keep, let's say, in the ECR, that means Elastic Container Registry. From there, you can pull the image and you can execute this image. Okay. So if you are using Docker, so you won't be getting any kinds of setup issue. This is the main advantage here. Then we'll be using something called ECR here. ECR. ECR means Elastic Container Registry. So this is the service from the AWS. Okay, AWS giving the service. So here you can store any kinds of Docker image. It is the same like your Docker Hub. Okay, but it is the service from the AWS. You can store the private image there, but in Docker Hub actually all the image would be public. This is the difference only. Now we'll be using another service called EC2. Okay, EC2 is a virtual machine service from the AWS. Again, it is from the AWS. Okay, so this will give you virtual machine. There you can buy, let's say, CPU based machine, GPU based machine. Okay, so all kinds of configuration would be there. So here we are using our local computer. So there we'll be getting a cloud computer. Okay, this is the difference only. Then as a CI/CD tool, I'll be using something called GitHub Action, as I already told you. Okay, we'll be using GitHub Action for the CI/CD management. Fine. So yes, guys, these are the services as of now I'm going to use. So let me show you the deployment step we'll be following. For this, what I have done, guys, I think you remember we implemented one medical chatbot. This is the code, and this code would be also available in your resources section. Even you will also get this code in my GitHub. So guys, this is my GitHub profile. Just search ENT in the Google, you will see my GitHub, and here I have created one repository called end-to-end medical chatbot. So I'm going to commit this code here, so you will get all the source code from this repository itself. Okay, and even I will also add the deployment step in the README file. So that is what actually I have written. You can see the entire deployment step I have written here. Now this is the CI/CD deployment we'll be following. So first of all, what I have to do, we have to let's say create a IAM user. Then we'll be creating the EC2 machine ECR. Okay, then we'll be, see, this is the deployment step as of now. Just try to follow the step I'm going to show you. First of all, we'll be building our so here, first of all, we'll be building the Docker image of our source code. That means Docker image we'll be implementing. Then we'll be pushing this Docker image to the ECR. That means Elastic Container Registry to store my Docker image. Then we'll be pulling this image from ECR in the EC2. That means we'll be pulling that image in the EC2 machine in our virtual computer. Then we'll be launching this Docker image in my EC2 machine. And from there, we'll be creating an endpoint. And that endpoint user will be able to access. Okay. And these are the policy I have to give whenever I will be creating the IAM user. Fine. So this is the entire step, guys, I have written. Even I have also given all the command you need to execute here. Now let's start the deployment, guys. But before that, you just need to prepare some of the files. The first file you have to prepare the Docker file. So this file will help you to containerize entire your application. That means it will perform the Dockerization. And these are the Docker command you have to write. So I think you remember we are using Python 3.10. Okay, this Python version. That's why I have taken Python 3.10 slim busted image. Then working directory, it will create a working directory called app. Inside that, it will copy all the source code. Then it will install the requirements. Okay, whatever requirements actually we are having here. Got it? Then it will execute this Python 3 app.py command. So that means my endpoint would be executed. Okay, my application would be running. And make sure before actually deployment, you just store your index. Okay, in the Pinecone. So this is the Pinecone, guys. It is running, and all the vector is already stored here. You can see 7020 actually record is already stored here. So I already executed this file. I think remember store index. So it will create all the, let's say, vector embedding, and it will store in the Pinecone. Okay, Pinecone vector database. So in this project, I was using Pinecone. I think remember. Okay, so this should be available here. Got it? So once it is available, now what I have to do, guys, then you can create another file called Docker ignore. Inside Docker ignore, you can mention like some of the file which is not required. Let's say here this file is not required. Let's say I think this file is not required. Generative AI project.egg info. Okay. So whenever it will perform the, let's say, containerization, that means Dockerization. So I don't need this folder. That time what you can do, you can mention this folder name in the Docker ignore file. It is the same thing as your git ignore. So it is already mentioned inside my git ignore. That's why I haven't mentioned inside my Docker ignore. Docker ignore is completely empty. As of now, I need all the file. That's why I haven't keep anything here. Now let's see, if you want to ignore any kinds of file which is not required, that time you can store these other file inside Docker ignore. Okay, that's the thing. Now the next things you have to create. You have to create one folder called .github. Okay, inside that you have to create one folder called workflows. Inside that you have to create one YAML file. You can give any name. Here I have given CICD.yaml. Okay, now see, this is the complete YAML file. So this YAML file will help me to do the CI/CD deployment. Okay, that means here it will be using something called GitHub action. Okay, and GitHub action need this YAML file. So here all the command is already written. So first of all, you will see that it will perform continuous integration. Inside continuous integration, it will authenticate with my AWS account. Okay, then it will log in with my ECR. Then whatever, let's say, Docker image actually will be building, you will push that image to the ECR. Okay, that means Elastic Container Registry. Then your continuous deployment will start. Again, it will authenticate with your AWS account. Then it will pull that, let's say, image from your ECR to EC2 machine. Then it will execute it here. And here all the environment variable I have set. You can see -e means this is the environment variable. See, AWS access key, AWS secret key. I'll tell you how to generate these are the key. Then Pinecone API key, OpenAI API key, everything I have set here. Okay, so these are the thing we'll be reading from the secret. Okay, GitHub secret. I'll tell you how to create the GitHub secret as well. So as of now, just try to remember this is the YAML file you have to use for the CI/CD, and this YAML file you can use as it is. No need to change anything in your other project as well. Okay, that's the thing. Now let's open up our AWS account. So guys, this is my AWS account. I already logged in with my AWS account. So here, so first of all, what you have to do, you have to create a IAM user. So let's create a IAM user. So IAM. So the first thing we'll be creating one user here. So let's create one user. I'll create a user. So let's say username is, I'll give medical bot. You can give any name, it's up to you. So let's click on next. Now you have to give policies. Okay, like what are the policy you want to give in this user? I don't want to give my entire policy. That means all the services I don't want to give the access. So I'll be giving some specific access. So access wise, I already written in the readme file. Let me show you. So these are the access I'll be providing: my EC2 container registry full access and EC2 full access. Okay, these are the thing we'll be giving. So here just search it. So this is the ECR. Okay, ECR Elastic Container Registry full service here I'm giving. So let's select, and after that again I can delete it. Then I'll try to copy the next service. This is the service. Okay, this is the EC2 machine service. So again search here and select the EC2 machine and click on the next. Now you'll see that I have given this two service. Okay. Next thing, just create the user. So right hand side, you can see one button is there, create user. Just click on create user. So guys, as you can see, my user has created. Now I'll click on the user. Then here I will get one option, security credential. Just click here. Then you have to create a access key. So click on create access key, select command line interface. And I understand this above recommendation and click on the next. So there is a next button. Just click on the next. Now create the access key here. Now see guys, this is your access key and secret access key. Try to download as a CSV file. So let's download. So and just keep it with you. Okay, this thing I need later on. Okay, and no need to share this key with anyone. Otherwise they will also access your AWS account. Okay, so here I'm showing because after the recording I'll delete everything. Got it? So my IAM creation is done. Now I'll go back to the home page. Now the next thing what I have to do, guys, I have to create a ECR repository to store my Docker image. So let's search for ECR. So just search for ECR, that means Elastic Container Registry. Just open it up and make sure you check your region, in which region you are working. See, I'm working in Mumbai, AP South 1. If you're in other region, just try to note it down. Okay, you have to note it down, this syntax actually, AP South 1, then CS Central 1. If you're, let's say, in North Virginia, you have to give US East 1. So just try to remember these are the tag. Okay, so I'm inside Mumbai, that means AP South 1. Now I'll be creating a Elastic Container Registry. So let's create. So let's click there. Now you have to give the name. Let's say I'll give medical chatbot. You can give any name. It's up to you. Everything keep it as default. Now click on next. Now see, my repo is created. Now what you have to do, just copy the URI and just try to paste it as of now here, because this thing I need later on. Just for reference, I'm saving it here. Okay. That's it. Now what I will do, I will go back again. Now the next thing I have to do, I have to create my EC2 machine. Then I have to set up, these are the requirements. Okay, that means I have to set up the Docker there. Then I will be also updating that machine. So let's create my EC2 machine right now. So search for EC2 here, EC2 instance. So this is the EC2 service. Now launch the instance. Now select the Ubuntu machine. And what you have to do, give the name of the machine. Let's say medical bot machine. You can give anything. Then see, instance type, you have to take at least 8 GB RAM. 8 GB RAM, just take 8 GB RAM. I'll be taking T2 large, okay, this machine. And then select the key value pair. If you don't have the key value pair, you can also create it. So let's say I'll give medical. So it will create one RSA file. So guys, you can see after creating and download, it will give you one PEM file. So this PEM file you can use. Let's say if you're using any third-party tool to connect with your EC2 machine, let's say Putty or Mobile Extreme, that time you can use this PEM file. But I'm going to launch my, let's say, machine in my second tab with the help of AWS only. I don't need this PEM file, okay? So now I'll select these two options, HTTPS and HTTP. Keep it everything as default. Configuration storage at least take, let's say, 30 GB. And launch the instance right now. So here you can see, click on view all instance. Then see, my machine is running. So if status is running, now click on the machine ID. Now here you have to connect this machine. So click on the connect button. Now I'll be selecting the EC2 connector and let's connect the machine. So it will create a new tab for me. So here I will get one terminal, black terminal. So we have to use this terminal to set up everything here. And this is the production server, guys. Okay, that's how your production server looks like. See, this is the production server. Let me zoom. Now let me clear. See, here you won't be getting any kinds of UI interface. Okay, that means the way we are using our computer, it is having UI. But in the production server, you won't be getting any kinds of UI. You have to work with the terminal always. And this is the Linux terminal I got. This is the Linux machine, guys. So that's why if you know any kinds of Linux command, it will help you a lot. Got it? So here, first of all, I have to update this machine. For this, you have to execute these at the command one by one. So let's copy all the command one by one. Okay, so this is done. Now I'll copy the next command and just try to paste here. Now give yes permission and press enter. Okay, so execution is completed. Now I have to set up the Docker in the EC2 machine. So this is the command you have to run. Copy the next one and execute. Then I will execute this one, then the last command. So we have to add the Docker in the sudo group, okay? Now, if it is running or not, so what you can do, you can execute one command, docker ---- version. So if it is showing the version, that means Docker is installed successfully. Now, we have to set up our self-hosted runner, EC2 as our self-hosted runner. That means we have to connect our GitHub. Okay, you can see this is the GitHub. Now, this is our project GitHub. So this GitHub I have to connect with my AWS. That means whenever user will, whenever let's say developer will push the code in the GitHub, it will automatically get updated to the AWS, okay, AWS cloud. So for this, what I have to do, I have to go to my project. Make sure you committed your repository in your GitHub and go to the settings, okay. Go to the settings. Now here, left-hand side, you will see one option called action. Just click on the action, click on the runners. Now create a new self-hosted runner. Now select the Linux machine and you have to execute. These are the commands. So let's copy this command one by one and let me execute here. So it will automatically make the connection with your GitHub. Let me show you. Then the third command. Then fourth command. Now you have to go to the configuration section and copy this command and execute it here. Now see GitHub action, it will automatically connect. Now it will see it has connected to the GitHub. Now it is asking for enter the name of the runner group. I don't want to give anything, press enter. Now it is asking enter the name of the runner. So here you have to give self-hosted. Okay, self-hosted. This is the thing you have to give. If you're giving another thing, it won't be working. Okay, make sure you're giving self-hosted. Now let's press enter. Now keep it everything default, just press enter again. Then again press enter. Now see, it is done. Now the last command we have to execute this one, and you can ignore this one, it is not required. Now see, it would be connected with my GitHub. See, connected to the GitHub, listening for the jobs. Okay. Now if I show you, if I come back, and now if I go to the runners, let's say I'll go to the runners. Now see, status should be idle. You can see it is connected. Okay. Now the next thing what I have to do, I have to set up all the GitHub secrets. Okay. Now let's go back to the secret. So secret variable, click on the action. Now new repository secret. Now give the secret ID. Okay. So for the first ID I have to give AWS access key ID. Just copy and give the key name here. And why we will get the value, I think remember we downloaded one CSV file. So let me open this CSV file. I will open in a Notepad++, and this is my AWS access key ID. I'll copy, and here let me paste it. Then the next one I have to give secret access key ID, copy, and create another new repository secret and give it here. And in the CSV file you will get the next one. See, it is comma separated. So before the comma, this is the AWS key ID, access key ID, and after the comma is the secret access key ID. So let me copy the secret access key ID and I will paste it here. Okay, now the next thing you have to give AWS default region. So region, I already told you I'm inside Mumbai, that means AP South 1. So I think remember I'm inside AP South 1. See, AP South 1, you have to write it. So let's write AP South. Okay, -1, AP South 1. Let's try to check AP South 1. AP South 1. Okay, fine. Now let me add it. Now the next thing I have to add my ECR repo. So ECR repo wise, I think you remember we copied one URL. So just try to get this name only. Okay, after .com, just try to get the name and try to mention here. Then the next thing I have to set my Pinecone API key. So let's copy and add it here. And I think I remember in my .env file I had my Pinecone API key. Let's copy. And this is not available inside my GitHub. That's why I'm reading from the GitHub secret. Okay, this is the idea. Now I also need to add my OpenAI secret. Okay, that means OpenAI API key. The last one you can see OpenAI API key. Let's add it. So let's copy the OpenAI API. Here I'm going to paste it. Now let's add the secret. Okay, now see, everything is added. Now let me see anything is left. No, everything I have added. Now what I have to do, I have to push the changes. Okay, but before that, let me get back to my project. Now I'll push the changes. So just try to commit. To commit, just open up your git bash and try to write this command, git add space dot, then git commit -m, let's say ci cd edit, then git push origin main. Now if I go back to my GitHub, now see, if I refresh here, so it will start running my action. Now just go to the action. Now see, my action is running. See, first of all, it is running the continuous integration. So inside continuous integration, first of all, it will authenticate with my AWS ECR, build the Docker image, push it to the ECR. Okay, everything will happen. See, automatically. It's just a one-time setup, guys. Next time, you don't need to set up it. You just need to write the code and push it to the GitHub. Automatically, it will push to the, let's say, AWS server. Okay, now see. So let's wait. Once this execution is completed, I will come back. So guys, as you can see, my continuous integration is completed. Now it is running the continuous deployment. Now what it will do, it will again authenticate with my AWS cloud, and it will pull that image from the ECR to EC2 machine. And if you go to the Elastic Container Registry right now, and if you refresh here, you will see the image. Okay, see, Docker image is been uploaded here. Now see, it is running the deployment. Now see, it is pulling the image. So once it is pulled, then we'll doing the port mapping. We'll create the endpoint, and we can access our application. Let me show you. So guys, as you can see, my execution is completed. That means both integration and deployment is executed. If you're not getting added, that means congratulations, it's done. Now I will go back to my EC2 machine. Okay, Now here in the EC2 machine, you will get one public IP address. Just let me show you. So this is the public IP address. Just try to copy and just try to open it. Okay, now see if I open it up. So it won't be opening because see, my application is running on port number 8080, I think, remember. Okay, so by default port number 8080 is not set. So I have to do the port mapping. So what I have to do, I'll go back, go to the instance. This is my instance. Then I'll go to the security. Okay, now here you will see one option called security group. Just click here. Now on top you will see edit inbound rules. Okay, just try to click here. Now I'll just add the rules. Custom TCP port number, just give 8080. Just select 000. Okay, and here you will see save rules. Okay, just click on the save rules. That's it. Okay, so rules has been added. Now I'll go to the instance again. I'll open it up. Now I'll copy the public IP address again, and here let me paste. Now you have to give clone port number 8080. Now see, if I hit enter, my application should be running. See guys, this is my chatbot is running. Now if I give any message, let's say what is acne. See guys, it is giving me the response. Now see, my application is live right now. So it is already deployed. Now user can use my applications. Now what you can do, you can buy a domain, okay, your custom domain, and you can publish this application to the audience. Okay, now for the second time, let's say you changed anything in the code. Let's say you added some more function. What you have to do, only just need to commit the changes. It will automatically get updated here. Fine. So no need to set up anything from scratch. It's just a one-time setup. Once setup is completed, just try to commit the changes, it will automatically running. Okay, now you can ask me, if I close this terminal, will it work? Yes, definitely we can close it. Let's say I will close this terminal. Now if I again go to the chatbot, if I refresh, see, still my bot is running. Okay, so that's how guys we can do the CI/CD deployment. Now let me show you how we can terminate all the instance, like whatever instance we created, if you don't want to keep it running, otherwise it will charge you, right? So what I can do, first of all, I will stop the EC2 machine I've created. So select the machine, click on the instance state and terminate. So terminate will delete it. Okay, so it will terminate and delete the instance. Then after that, I also need to delete my ECR. So let's go to the ECR. So first of all, delete the image inside that. Just write the delete command. Now try to select and delete. Okay, then what I have to do, I have to delete the then I will also delete my IAM user. Okay, the IAM user I created. User, let's select and try to delete it. Medical chatbot I have to write here, so let me copy and let me delete it. See, everything is deleted. Now nothing will charge you. Okay, so guys, that's how we can perform the deployment, and this is the code. You can use this code as it is. Okay, the code actually have shared. So yes guys, this is all about and I hope you liked it. So thanks for watching guys. And what you need to do guys, the next project I showed you now, that this one source code analysis, you can deploy this project with the same process. Okay, whatever project we have created so far, you can deploy with the same process. So guys, now we are going to deploy our project to the cloud platform, and this is going to be the common deployment guys for all the project actually will be implementing. If you have any kinds of Streamlit app guys, you can follow the same technique to do the deployment. Okay, so going forward, I'm not going to create a deployment video separately. Instead of that, this video I'll try to redirect so you can refer for the deployment. So the pipeline actually I'm going to show you, the pipeline will remain same for all the app will be developing in future. Only the change you have to do the project. Okay, so let's say the project actually I'm going to use this particular project. So this project I'm going to show deploy okay over the AWS cloud. So this is just a basic Streamlit app guys. You can see if I show you the app.py. So here I just written one header screen. Okay, that's it. Now here you just need to upload your project in the GitHub. Okay, the project actually we have developed. Okay, this one, this project actually we have developed. This project you have to upload in the GitHub. Okay, then after that you have to follow the same deployment pipeline I'm going to follow. Okay, but one thing guys, you will see that whenever you are creating any kinds of Agentic AI or GenAI application, you have this .env file. Okay, you have this .env file, and whenever we commit our code to the GitHub, this env file won't be uploaded there.
So how we can get this env file? Okay, for this we'll be adding some additional code in the code base. So let's open up our app.py. So see, this is the common step, guys. Always remember this step you have to add. Okay, if you're using .env file, then so this is the code, guys, you have to add here. Let me show you. I can add it here. Yeah, so this is the code. So here we'll be using something called gdown package. So gdown is a package. With the help of that we can download anything from the Google Drive. So let me just add it here, because I'm going to upload my .env file in my Google Drive. From there we'll try to get the file before executing my app. So first of all, let me install it. Okay, then what I will do, I'll just try to install the requirement again. It's done. Now what I will do, I'll add my environment here. Enter. Now see, you have to upload this .env file in the Google Drive. So let me upload. Done. Now you have to give the public at now you have to change the so now you have to change the permission. So copy the link, manage access, anyone with the link. Okay, make sure you give anyone with the link. Okay, by default it will be restricted. Now just copy the link and paste it here, and just copy this ID. Okay, I need the ID. So this is the ID. So this is the ID. Copy and mention it here. Okay, so what this code will do, it will download this env file from the Google Drive itself. Okay, and it will save as a .env file. Okay, and this is the code. With the help of gdown we are doing that. Okay, so you can execute and you can test. So I already have it, I'm not going to execute it. Now we can start the deployment. Okay, now the deployment step I'm going to show you guys, you have to follow the same technique. Fine. So let's open up our deployment step. See here what we are going to do. So first of all, we'll be logging with our AWS console, and we'll launch our EC2 instance. Then we'll be running the following commands. That means we'll be using Docker service here. First of all, we'll try to install Docker in the EC2 instance. Then we'll be cloning our repository. Then we'll be building the Docker image of our entire source code. Then we'll run this application. Okay, you can see we'll be running this application as a container. Okay, and here we'll be doing the port mapping and all. So these are the some steps, guys, we're going to follow. So let me show you how it can be done. So first of all, let open up our AWS account. So this is my AWS account. So here make sure you have selected your region. So I'm inside US East 1. Okay, now here I'm going to launch a EC2 instance. And let's launch the instance. I will select the Ubuntu machine, and here you can give the name. So this is my agent app, and instance type at least take 4 GB memory. So I can take this one, T2 medium. Key value pair, if you have, you can select it, otherwise you can create one. So I already have. So what I'll do, I'll just try to add a old one and allow HTTPS HTTP traffic. Okay, then after that storage configure 8 GB is fine. Okay, because here we are not saving lots of artifacts, so 8 GB storage is fine. Now let's launch the instance. Done. Now I'll click on view all instance. Now see, my instance is running. Now I have to do the port mapping, because by default Streamlit runs port number 8501. So you have to do the port mapping. So go to the security groups, and here you will see one option called edit and bound rules. Add rules, custom TCP port number 8501. You can see that 8501 here. Now I'll add 00 because I want to access from any file, and let's save the rule. Now I'll go to the instance again, go inside. Now let's connect. And make sure, first of all, guys, you commit your code to your GitHub. Okay, just upload your code to the GitHub, then just try to clone. See, I'm using this project. just a basic template I created just to show you the deployment, because I told you this deployment step would be common for all the project. Okay, that's why I'm using this particular template. Now here I just need to execute these are the command. First of all, let's update the machine. Then copy the second command. Yes, permission. Yeah, so it's done. Now I'll copy the next one. So now we'll install the Docker. Okay, so it's complete. Now I will copy the next command. And this command. So now we have to clone our repository, but before that I will check whether Docker got installed or not. So Docker happen version. Okay, you can see Docker is running. So now let's clone the repo. So how to clone? So copy the link address and paste the link. Just write git clone. And one thing I forget to tell you, see, you have to add the Docker file here. Okay, you can see I have added a Docker file. If you want to build a Docker image, so in the Docker file, you have to write this content. And here you just replace with your Python version. Let's say I'm using 3.12. Just give only 3.12. Okay, and everything would be as it is. No need to change anything. Okay, so this Docker file you have to add, guys. Otherwise, image won't be built up. Okay, so you can see this is cloned. Now if I show you ls, see this is already cloned. Now I'll go inside that cd streamlit Streamlit. Now inside that I have all the files and folder. Now what I have to do, I have to build a Docker image, and to build a Docker image, this is the command. So let's copy, and you can give the name. Okay, so here I've given st app. You can give any kinds of name as per your project. So let's build a Docker image. So now see guys, image is building. So it will take some time. I will wait. Once it is complete, I will come back. So guys, you can see my image is built up. So now if you want to see the image, so you can execute this command docker images -a. So this will show you the image actually you have built. Okay, now I can execute the image as a container. So this is the command. So let's execute this command. So make sure you are giving your image name here. Okay, and we are doing the port mapping, and we are running our application in a detached mode. So now if I execute, see your application is running, and if you close the terminal also, still it will be running. Okay, so if you want to test, just come here, go to the public IP address, paste it here, and give port number 8501. And see guys, your app is running. So that's how guys we can do the deployment of any kinds of this kinds of application. If you are creating a Streamlit application, we can deploy like that. Okay, and it is running as a container. So if I also close this terminal also, okay, this app would be still running. Okay, yeah. So I hope guys you got it, how we can create these kinds of project and how we can deploy. Now going forward, we'll be implementing some more project, and this deployment step will remain common, okay, for all the implementation. So now I want to show you how we can terminate all the instance. So go to the instance, select the instance and terminate and delete. So it will remove everything. Okay,
So yes guys, this is all about from this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.